Look, this is hard to say, but it's something that's been gnawing at the back of every sharp mind in the room. Imagine putting your trust, your money, your hopes into a fund, only to realize that fund might be quietly betting against the very success you're desperate for. You feel that gut punch every time numbers don't line up, every time the promises sound too good to be true, and deep down you know you've got to start questioning. Are you really on the same side anymore? It's a brutal thought, but it's real, and ignoring it won't save you. It'll sink you. You're playing a high-stakes game where your capital isn't just cash, it's your future. You think you're partnering with visionaries, pioneers who'll lift you higher, but what if those same partners are hedging their bets in the shadows? What if while you're hoping for growth, they're quietly mitigating risk in ways that slowly chip away at your upside? You start to feel like a pawn, not a player. The frustration hits hard. The endless reports, the glossy presentations, the polished success stories. But beneath all that, the uncomfortable truth. Misaligned interests, hidden safety nets, and strategies designed not to maximize your gains, but to protect theirs first. It's like being handed a flashlight that only illuminates part of the path, while the rest stays murky and unknown. That pitiless shadow of doubt grows louder. Is the fund really pushing full throttle on growth? Or are they betting on the downside quietly, cloaked in layers of complex financial jargon you barely trust? The fear of being sold a dream, while someone else's parachute is ready to open before yours, is what keeps you awake at night. It's a gnawing sickness, the feeling that you're paying for an illusion, that the alignment of goals is just a nice story told to keep you calm. But here's the raw truth. The nightmare is only real if you let it be. The power to fight back is in understanding the game behind the facade. It's in knowing exactly where to look, what questions to ask, and how to spot the subtle signs that say, this fund is hedging against your success. It's not just about financial metrics or performance charts. It's about reading between the lines, spotting conflicts of interest nobody mentions, and seeing the fund's moves through a razor-sharp lens. This isn't paranoia, it's survival. And that, right there, is where most limited partners get stuck. They don't realize that the stories they're told, the numbers they see, those are crafted narratives. The safe bets the fund takes on their own portfolio are quiet whispers slipped under the table, hidden in the structure. The clauses no one explains at parties or in glossy decks. It's a brutal game of chess, but you're playing roulette. That sense of betrayal is real because it's a battle over trust. And trust is the most fragile thing in this business. But don't get lost in despair. This is the moment to flip the script. The way forward isn't to blindly hope or stay silent. The way forward is to take the reins and become the partner who demands clarity, who insists on transparency, not just in dollars and cents, but in strategies and intentions. This means digging deeper than the surface. It means asking the hard questions. How exactly does the fund manage downside risk? Where do their hedges lie? Are there structural protections that silently favor the general partners over limited partners? Do they have side vehicles where they place opposite bets? These are not uncomfortable inquiries for the faint-hearted, but for the partner who refuses to be passive. You need to carve out your space as an informed, active investor, one who doesn't just sit back on quarterly calls nodding politely, but one who challenges, probes, pushes. You must demand to see the real skin the managers have in the game, not some veneer. If a fund claims alignment but keeps hiding bets against success, that's your red flag. Your capital deserves full exposure to the upside, not artificial ceilings masked by safety nets benefiting others. Your power lies in setting the demand for full visibility, and when that transparency isn't there, it's okay to walk. Now, to win in this brutal arena, you can't just play defense, you need a new offense. It starts with building relationships with funds that prize radical honesty and shared wariness of misaligned incentives. The rare few who openly discuss their risk management, who explain when and why they hedge, and how these moves ultimately protect the whole partnership rather than just themselves. These managers don't see limited partners as mere capital sources. They see them as co-pilots with skin in the game, aligned in every move. If you're tired of wondering every quarter whether your partners are betting against you, and believe it or not, many are, you owe it to yourself to be part of this shift. This means stepping off the beaten path, connecting with funds that reject the status quo, that understand that true progress and real wealth come only when every player is pulling the same rope, not pushing in opposite directions. Here's the kicker. This isn't about chasing glamour or easy wins. It's about rigor, discipline, and guts. It's about refusing to settle for sugar-coated lies or convenient myths about alignment. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because only then will you see the real game. Only then will you find the managers who dare to be transparent even when the truth hurts. The ones who live by the rule, no hedging your own bets at the expense of your limited partners. But this takes work. It means rebuilding how due diligence is done, not just on current metrics, but on incentives, structures, and hard-to-spot hedging strategies. It means leveraging networks, collaborating with other limited partners to share insight and spot patterns the few try to hide. It means holding GPs accountable all the way up, renegotiating terms that leave room for these side bets. This isn't simple, and it's not always comfortable, but it's the only path to true partnership. And you know what? When you take these steps, the game changes. Suddenly, you're no longer sitting in the passenger seat, but in the driver's seat. Suddenly, your capital works for you, not against you. Suddenly, you build real wealth, not illusions. And that reward, it's not just financial, it's freedom. Freedom from doubt, freedom from manipulation, freedom from losing what you worked your entire life for. But this won't be popular. The old guard hates when limited partners wake up. They prefer quiet, compliant capital, silent and powerless. They want you sedated with fancy reports and glossy narratives while they hedge their bets in private. But you don't need to be part of that story anymore. You can rewrite every chapter. You can be the limited partner who takes no prison for their upside, the investor who demands full alignment, full transparency, and who walks away when it's not there. So if you feel that fire, that frustration that something's wrong, and that you deserve better, listen closely. That fire is your ally. Feed it. Use it. Let it drive you not just to chase returns, but to hunt truth. To build partnerships built on raw, honest commitment, where the only bet being made is the one where everyone wins. The day you start doing this will be the day you start winning like never before. Your power isn't in the capital you put down. It's in the questions you ask, the deals you reject, the standards you refuse to lower. It's in stepping into the light and demanding that funds show their cards completely. It's in building communities of informed partners ready to reshape this game from the edge. The old system wants you quiet, compliant, trusting. You were never meant for that. You were born to disrupt, to challenge, to demand more. The question is, will you settle or will you rise? Will you keep wondering if your funds are secretly betting against you? Or will you take the steps to end that nightmare once and for all? Remember, this is a hard truth wrapped in velvet lies. But truth set free is the only way forward. And your time to act is now.